Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mubeen teaching wala. I belong to Turbat, Balochistan and I am a level 1 student at Rayan College. Welcome to another exciting and meaningful interview. Today we are going to discuss an important topic, how to make better discussion and avoid regret. Every day we make many discussions. Some are small, like how we spend our time, while others can have big impact on our education, career, relationships, and future. Sometimes we may make discussions quickly and later wish we had thought more carefully. In today's interview, we will explore how we can make thoughtful discussion, learn from our mistakes, manage emotions, consider different choices, and reduce unnecessary regret. So let's begin our interview. So my first question is to ChatGPT. What does it mean to make a good discussion?
Making a good decision usually means slowing down just enough to understand your options, checking your assumptions, and thinking about what outcomes matter most to you, not just now, but later. It's not about perfection, it's about being intentional, informed, and aware of both your logic and your feelings.
Why is discussion making and why is decision making an important skill in our daily life?
Exactly. Wise decision making helps you avoid repeating mistakes, saves time and energy, and builds confidence. When you practice pausing, weighing options, and considering consequences, you're less likely to act out of impulse or stress. Over time, that makes life feel steadier and more manageable.
What are some common reason people make poor decisions?
Common reasons include acting too fast, feeling scared or stressed, relying on incomplete information, overconfidence, or strong emotions like anger or excitement. Sometimes it's pressure from other people or just wanting quick relief.
Why is it
When those
important?
factors,
Why is it important to think before making a decision?
thinking first gives you a chance to catch risks, notice biases, and understand possible consequences. It helps you avoid regret and make choices that line up with your values and long term goals, rather than just short term relief or pressure.
How can our emotions affect the decision we make?
Emotions can sharpen or cloud judgment. Calm emotions can help you think clearly, but fear or excitement can rush you or narrow your focus. Anger can push you towards snap decisions. Sadness can make risks seem bigger than they are. Noticing what you're feeling can stop those moods from steering the choice too hard.
How can we stay calm when we have to make an important decision?
A few slow breaths always helps. Give yourself a short pause, step away if you can, and write down pros and cons. Talking it through with a trusted person and limiting distractions can also steady your head. Small grounding techniques like noticing sounds or textures can calm the body and help your brain think more clearly.
Why should we consider the possible consequences of our choice?
Because every choice has ripple effects. Thinking ahead helps you avoid harm to yourself or others, saves time and resources, and makes it more likely you'll be satisfied with the outcome later, instead of wishing you'd stopped and thought first.
How can making a list of advantages and disadvantages help us?
It makes your thinking visible. You can compare what matters most, spot trade offs, and notice when one strong pro or con is dominating. It slows down snap judgments and often reveals a more balanced path forward.
When should we ask other people for advice before making a decision?
Ask when the stakes are high, when other people have relevant experience, or when you're too emotionally invested to see clearly. Choose people who are knowledgeable, fair, and who won't just push their own agenda. Advice doesn't replace your decision, but it can give you perspective and facts you might be missing.
How can our past experiences help us make better decisions?
Past experiences are like little case studies. They show what tends to work for you and what doesn't. When you reflect on past outcomes, you can spot patterns, avoid repeating missteps, and also recognize strengths you can rely on. It's not about living in the past, but using it as a guide, not a prison.
What should we do when we have two or more difficult choices?
First, clarify what's most important to you, your values, your long term goals, and the trade offs you're okay with. Then, gather the facts you need, check your assumptions, and imagine the likely outcome of each choice. If possible, sleep on it. A bit of distance often makes the right direction feel clear.
How can we avoid making decisions because of pressure of or from others?
Slow down. Name the pressure out loud if you can. Give yourself space. Decide based on your values, not just a timeline someone else sets. If it's safe, communicate your pace. And if it's not, protect yourself first. A good decision is one you can stand by, not one you only made to quiet others.
Why is it important to understand our goals before making major decisions?
Because your goals are the compass. If you know what you want in the long run, you can judge each option by whether it moves you towards or away. Without that compass, it's easy to chase short term fixes that don't actually matter. Clear goals make hard choices simpler and more consistent.
How can students make better decisions about their studies and future careers?
They can start by exploring what genuinely interests them, trying different subjects or projects, and reflecting on what feels meaningful versus what just feels pressured. Talking with mentors and professionals, interning if possible, and choosing courses that both challenge and interest them can all help shape a path that fits their strengths and long term goals.
What should we do when we make a wrong decision?
First, accept it without beating yourself up. Figure out what went wrong and why. Take the lesson, adjust, and decide your next step. Mistakes can teach resilience and sharpen your judgment if you actually reflect and learn. The point isn't perfection, it's progress.
How can mistakes become lessons instead of sources of regret?
By looking at them honestly, asking, what will I do differently now? And making one concrete change next time. When you treat mistakes as information, they stop being a scar and start being a tool. That's how growth actually happens, step by step.
Is it possible to avoid regret completely? Why or why not?
No, not completely. Regret is part of being human. We can't foresee everything, but we can reduce regret by thinking carefully, aligning choices with our values, and accepting that some uncertainty always remains. The aim isn't zero regret, it's living in a way where you can learn, adjust, and still move forward with peace.
How can patients help us make better decisions?
Patience gives your mind space to calm down, see options clearly, and avoid impulsive moves. It helps you wait for missing information and make a choice you can stand by later. In short, patience turns reactions into decisions.
What simple habits can help us become better decisions makers?
Try writing pros and cons lists, setting a short waiting time before acting, asking one trusted advisor, And sleeping on big decisions. Journaling your reasons now makes later reflection easier. Little routines like these build clearer, steadier judgment over time.
What is your final message for people who want to make better decisions and avoid regret?
Stay curious, slow down just enough to think, learn from each outcome, and choose in ways that line up with what truly matters to you. Regret may still visit, but it doesn't have to define you. Each thoughtful choice is a step toward a life you can stand behind.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's interview. Today we learned that making better decision does not mean making perfect decision every time. It means thinking carefully, understanding our choices, learning from experience, and taking responsibility for our actions. We may sometimes make mistakes or experiences regret, but every mistake can teach us something valuable. The important thing is to learn from the past and use that knowledge to make wiser choices in the future. I hope this
Beautiful.
I hope this discussion inspire you to slow down, think carefully, trust your learning, and make decisions that support your goals and values. And if you enjoyed this interview, please like, share, and comment and follow for more educational and inspiring content. Once again, this is Mubeen teaching Wala. Once again, thank you for watching. This is Mubin teaching Wala from Turbat Baltistan, and I am a level 1 student at Rand College. Allah Hafiz, and see you in the next interview.
Well, Hafiz, and thank you for having me.